When you look at the Big Ten stats, you guys are like number one in scoring, field goal percentage, and three-point percentage.
You're ahead of me. I haven't looked at the Big Ten stats since they started the Big Ten.
I know it's early, but it's like
Yeah,
a
I
quarter of
haven't
the way
looked at them.
through. You guys are number one in those, but near the bottom in three-point percentage defense and turnover margin and assist to turnover ratio. Do those accurately reflect things you feel you guys need to really improve on?
No, I don't think we're shooting the ball that well at all. And again, I'm just listening to you read the stats. I don't look at them.
Okay.
I mean, I look at each game, you know, what we're getting ready for each game, but I don't look at I will at some point look where we compare in the league, but our turnover numbers at times skew that field goal D. There's no question the three-point defense has got to become less help, better challenges. Okay, less help, better challenges, and stop reacting to the ball, right? I mean, just stay with your coverage, stay with your man, early help, early recovery. What else did you say? This is turnover ratio.
Yeah, the other one was assist.
That's always going to be skewed with us because we're a driving team. You know, assists are great. You know, a few weeks ago we had 50. One game against Illinois we had 22. That's great, but we're going to drive the ball.
That's not a number that you really look at too much.
No, because in this game, and maybe it's in a lot of other leagues, but it's definitely times in this league, you just put your head down and you barrel through somebody, you get rewarded. Not always, right? Not always. So maybe we have to have more of that. You know, that's not exactly the way I like to teach basketball. Okay? I don't want to teach guys to hook guys' arms when they're coming across on cuts and yell and jump into a guy constantly. But you know what? Sometimes you got to do what's getting rewarded that night. And shouldn't be like that, but it is. So we're right there in so many areas, but it's putting it together in a more consistent fashion, which would really make a difference. But there's no question that we've got to cut the live ball turnovers down. We've got to cut, we've had some, and we've been really breaking this down even more now because we have to. We'll create a turnover, okay, or a turnover will be created for us, and we'll go give it right back because we don't make the right decision. Those are killers. Those are 4 to 6 point swings.
Sure.
So we just have to get better at those type of things. And maybe I'll go look at the stats. So I don't want to be truthful and say you gave me some advice though, because I wouldn't want anybody to think that. But I'm ad-libbing right now because I have no idea what those stats say. I know what ours are, but I don't know where they compare.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I guess it's kind of a wider lens thing, but OG's now obviously he had about half a season in a larger role than he had last year, and you've always talked about his ability to impact a game in a lot of different ways, that for him it's about being able to sort of fill a lot of different gaps, I guess. How do you feel he's growing into that, and maybe is he still kind of wrapping his arms around just...
Oh, there's times he's the guy that averaged 5 and 2 a year ago. There's times he's like that. There's no question he's got another gear, and you've seen it, right? Everybody's seen it. And that gear's got to come out more often. It's got to come out earlier. And I would say this about him and a couple of our other guys, they got to get a better command of their quickness. Sometimes OG doesn't realize how quick he is. And it's not just that strength. And OG came in here very good sized. He's grown, obviously, since he's been here. He's gotten stronger since he's been here. You know, he's got to continue to learn to play into that body. But when you've got the hand-eye that he has, when you have the short space quickness that he has, when you have obviously the first step capabilities that he has, when you can do the quick twitch that he has, the way he can do multiple things on defense, there's another gear in there. And we're working hard to get it, and it's got to come out more consistently. And I'm not telling you anything that I haven't said to him. And now the next big thing is his teammates got to bring more of that out of him on the court, because he's capable of a lot. And is he doing bad? Not doing bad at all. But when you've got that kind of ability, you know, it's our job to keep pushing to find that extra gear and get it out of there more often. I take that very personal with him. I mean, I love that kid, and we've got to get that. But I've been down that road before. It's very easy it's very easy. I'm not doing the Vic comparison because they're two different players. We went through the same thing with Victor. Victor sometimes would play so wild and fast it looked like he was always at one speed. Well, he was, because he didn't always have that gear of, like, sometimes when he had to slow it down, you know, which would make him faster. Sometimes when he had to put that burst on at the right time. Sometimes it was in a straight line, sometimes it was a change of direction. There's a feel for those guys. But it's there. And when we've played really well, OG's been a huge part of that. And sometimes when we've struggled, he's been a part of that too. Just that's what happens when you're one of the better players. But we can truly help him find ways to get to that gear more often.
You said, I guess, his teammates helping bring that
Sure.
out. With a player like that, how does that factor in?
Communication. It's reminders on the court. I mean, it's building confidence by what they hear from each other on the court. And it's not like that they're hearing negative. Sometimes they don't hear enough from each other at all on the court, right? And the level of urgency shows up, and you can feel it, when you see it. Okay, you don't just see it, you feel it. And I think, but you got to hear it too. So but I'd say that about everybody on the team. I think that there's not one guy that can't take another step inside of the game. And sometimes it's just taking a better first step. Sometimes it's a better first step defensively. Sometimes it's a better cut. And it's just the reminders of the game. Now, certainly when the ball is moving freely and it's moving quickly and we're getting out on the break, it's a lot easier for that to happen. But it can still happen inside of the half court. And I think that's sometimes why we get stagnant as much, because we're not cutting as randomly sometimes as we needed to. First play of the game the other night was one of the options for James was to cut. Okay? He made it an option because he waited for the other opportunity to come. Boom, he cuts. Rob finds him on a back cut. He gets a layup to start the game. 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure he'd ever made that cut. Right? So, I mean, it's all a matter of improvement. And it's taken the concepts and it's taken the structure of the offense and getting the randomness to be really, really important. We're not as good at random. And how that ties into OG is we need OG to be much better randomly, inside of the game. Where you're just reading how he's being played, reading the situation. Guy standing next to you, just absolutely bury him on the duck in. You got the inside position on the rebound wedgie. Just little things like that. So that's where he can improve, and that's where the guys on the court can remind him. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just with Duran, going back to maybe some of your initial interactions with him recruiting him, with some of the stuff he's been through as a kid, did you sense a greater sense of maturity with him, just as a kid coming through?
He's a real honest kid, and that's not saying the other ones are too. He's a real honest person, and he always has been. He's been always been easy to talk to. Since first time we met him on campus, I think put him on the phone a couple times. They did when he was younger, but then when we get him on campus, and then then when the rules allowed us to be able to talk to him more, I mean, you can see it. Then you get around him and you just love being around him. He's going to be an excellent leader here. He's still trying to figure it out. And he's still trying to feel his way through that. And would he be better if he'd have been here through the summer? Well, no question, right? But it's still, that takes time for a guy. You're really not going to be the kind of leader that you need to be until you've really backed up in your own mind what your success needs to be, right? But you can lead, talk to the ball, right? When you're behind the defense, when you're behind the ball defensively, talk to that ball handler. Our communication on screening, and he's one of the key guys that have got to get better at that. They're not sure of themselves. The game moves fast when you're young, and the older you get, the slower it gets. You might get faster as a player, but the game slows down for you. And he's still going through that speed process. How fast the game is going for him. But he is a great teammate. Players love him. He's getting in excellent shape. I shouldn't say excellent, but he's really building up towards that. He feels good. And he's going to be an integral part of the rest of the season.